My beloved child, come closer, yes, come nearer to this moment, because what I am about to speak is not a coincidence. You were not meant to scroll past this. You were not meant to ignore this message. Heaven has an appointment with you, and your spirit felt it before your mind even realized it. Something tugged at you. Something whispered, "Open this now," and you obeyed. That obedience is the very sign that heaven has already begun its work. Listen to me, dear one, with the ears of your spirit. For I speak not as a mere storyteller, but as a father guiding his children into a divine moment of visitation. Right now, even as you hear these words, the atmosphere around you is shifting. A stirring is beginning. A gentle, almost unnoticeable breeze of glory is brushing against your home, your room, your heart. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is the movement of the heavenly host, and leading them is the mighty Archangel Michael. There are moments in life when heaven bends toward the earth, when the unseen touches the seen, and when the veil between the natural world and the spiritual world becomes thin. You, my beloved child, are standing in such a moment right now. Archangel Michael, the warrior of the Most High, the guardian of divine destinies, has been sent on assignment concerning your life. His presence always precedes breakthrough, always. But today is different, because he comes not with a sword alone, but with a message. A surprising message. A heavenly announcement that has your name on it. A message that has been delayed, blocked, fought over, and resisted in the spiritual realm, but could not be stopped. Feel this deeply. Something is coming into your house. Something sent by heaven. Something that carries the fragrance of divine victory. And I tell you, child of God, when heaven sends something, it never arrives empty. When heaven sends something, it never arrives ordinary. And when Archangel Michael himself escorts it to your doorstep, then you must know, you must truly know, that the moment you have prayed for, cried for, hoped for, and sometimes doubted would ever arrive is now stepping into your home. Some of you have felt heaviness in your rooms. Some of you have felt strange pressure on your hearts. Some of you have felt like a cloud has hovered over your homes for months. But that cloud is breaking. Even as I speak, a new light is entering. A heavenly announcement is drawing near. I feel it so strongly. This is why your spirit was restless today. This is why something inside you said, "I must watch this." Because heaven is not sending a whisper. Heaven is sending news. Heaven is sending change. Heaven is sending what belongs to you. So breathe deeply, my beloved child. There is no fear here, only divine expectation. For as you continue listening, you will feel it, the warmth, the stirring, the certainty that something supernatural is unfolding in your favor. Prepare your heart. Prepare your home. The surprising news is already on its way. My beloved child, let your heart stay open as we continue this sacred journey, for what I am about to share will deepen your understanding of the heavenly visitor who is moving toward your home. Many speak of angels, but few truly understand the weight, the majesty, and the purpose behind their assignments. And today, you are being drawn into a revelation that will help you recognize the presence of Archangel Michael when he steps into the atmosphere around you. From the beginning of time, long before the earth formed its mountains, long before the oceans found their borders, Archangel Michael stood as one of the highest servants of the Most High. He is not just an angel. He is the commander of the angelic armies. He moves with the authority of heaven. His very presence sends tremors through the kingdom of darkness. Every time he appears in Scripture, something powerful is taking place. Something is shifting. Something is being delivered or defended. When heaven chooses to send Michael, it means heaven is making a statement, a declaration, a turning point. My beloved child, understand this. Michael is an angel of announcement. His arrival always signals that heaven is no longer negotiating your situation, but intervening in it. Think of Daniel, who waited days for an answer, unaware that the heavenly messenger bringing his blessing was being resisted. It was Michael who broke through the resistance. It was Michael who stepped into the conflict. It was Michael who ensured that the message arrived. This is why the news coming into your house carries such importance. If the heavens assigned Michael to deliver it, then your life is standing on the edge of a transformation that cannot be denied or delayed any longer. Some of you have felt stuck for years. Some have prayed until your voice felt tired. Some have believed even while fighting through tears. And heaven has seen it all. Heaven has recorded every moment of endurance, every act of faith, every quiet prayer whispered in the dark. That is why the Almighty has said, enough. Send Michael. Let the news reach them. Let the breakthrough touch their house. Let what has been held back be released. Let what was stolen be returned. Let the tide turn. When Michael moves, he does not walk, he advances. He does not simply visit, he establishes divine order. He comes with purpose. Purpose to cut off spiritual interference. Purpose to shatter unseen chains. Purpose to restore what has been weakened or wounded. And yes, my child, purpose to deliver a message that is meant only for you. A message marked with heavenly seal, carrying the fragrance of answered prayers. Some of you may feel unworthy. Some may feel unsure. Some may wonder, why would heaven send Michael to me? But hear this truth. Heaven does not move according to human worthiness. It moves according to divine love. You have not been forgotten. You have not been ignored. You have not been overlooked. The very fact that this message has reached you is proof that heaven has been watching over you, even when you felt unseen by the world. Michael comes where destiny is under attack. Michael comes where promises need protection. Michael comes where breakthroughs must be escorted. Michael comes where the future is being rewritten by the hand of God. That is why he is coming to your house. Not because you are perfect, but because you are chosen. Not because you have never stumbled, but because you have never let go of hope fully. Even if your hope flickered like a weak flame, it never died, and heaven honors the smallest spark. So listen closely, beloved child. As you begin to understand who Michael truly is, you will begin to perceive why he is bringing this surprising news to your home. This is not an ordinary moment. This is not an ordinary message. This is a heavenly visitation wrapped in prophecy, delivered by one who has stood in the courts of glory and listened to the voice of the Almighty. Let your spirit settle. let your faith rise. For as we continue, you will begin to understand not only who is coming, but why he is coming to you now, in this season, in this exact moment of your life. Heaven has aligned itself in your favor, and the messenger of divine victory is already drawing near. My beloved child, as we step deeper into this holy moment together, I want you to become aware of something stirring around you, something that has already begun to move even before you reach this message. You may not have recognized it at first, but the signs have been there. Heaven often begins its work quietly, like the first breeze before a mighty wind, like a soft light appearing before the sunrise. And this is exactly how the divine movement of Archangel Michael begins when he is sent toward a home. Before the blessing arrives, before the message is revealed, before the breakthrough is felt, heaven first shifts the atmosphere. My beloved child, think back over the last few days. Have you felt unusually restless? Have you sensed a pull toward prayer, even when you did not understand why? Have you been feeling like something is changing, even though nothing outwardly seems different? These are not coincidences. These are signs. Signs that the invisible is beginning to touch the visible. Signs that the spiritual world is preparing to manifest something in your home. You see, when God releases a message into someone's life, especially a message important enough to be escorted by Archangel Michael, everything around them begins to sense it. The atmosphere becomes sensitive. Your spirit becomes alert. Your inner world becomes watchful, as though you are waiting for something you cannot name. Heaven does not surprise you without first awakening you. Your spirit knows before your mind understands. My child, do you remember those nights when sleep felt strange, as if you were being watched over? Do you recall those sudden moments of peace that came out of nowhere? Those brief seconds when you felt warmth in your chest, or a calmness touched your heart without any logical reason. These experiences were not random. They were indicators. They were the early footsteps of the heavenly visitation approaching your home. When Michael begins his journey toward a person, the winds of divine movement begin to enter the home long before he arrives. There is a settling of old storms. There is a quieting of inner fears. There is a gentle lifting of burdens that you had carried for so long that you forgot how heavy they were. Even now, as you listen, something inside you is loosening. Something is being released. Heaven is making room for what is coming. Some of you have noticed sudden changes in your emotions, feeling lighter, calmer, clearer than usual. Some of you have felt the opposite, a sense of pressure, heaviness, or urgency that you could not explain. But both are signs. For when heaven moves, the soul responds. Sometimes it responds with relief, sometimes with resistance, sometimes with awakening. But it always responds. For others, your home has felt different. Perhaps rooms you once avoided suddenly feel peaceful. Perhaps you have felt the need to clean or reorganize without knowing why. Perhaps you have found yourself wanting to sit quietly, or pray, or simply breathe. This is the atmosphere preparing itself. Heaven never delivers anything into chaos. When Michael is coming with a message, the environment begins to shift into alignment. And my beloved child, there are some of you who have been hearing more spiritual things than before. Soft thoughts that feel like guidance, small nudges to avoid certain people, quiet reminders to take care of your heart. Heaven has been whispering. The message has been approaching. The spiritual winds have already entered your home, announcing that something is on its way. Understand this deeply. When God decides to deliver surprising news to a person's house, the natural world reacts. Your dreams adjust. Your emotions shift. Your heart becomes sensitive. You may find yourself remembering old promises you thought you forgot. You may feel the desire to release old hurts you've held for years. This is heaven clearing the ground, preparing the soil, making a place for the blessing to land. Some of you will even notice physical signs. Peace settling in rooms that once felt heavy. Confusion lifting. Arguments decreasing. Thoughts becoming clearer. These are all indications that Archangel Michael is drawing near. His presence brings order. His presence brings structure. His presence brings clarity. And heaven has already begun preparing your home so that nothing will block what is being delivered to you. My beloved child, feel this truth in your spirit. The winds have already entered your home. The shift has already begun. The movement has already started. What is coming is not just a message, but a transformation. You are standing in a divine transition, and most people never realize when these transitions begin. But you, dear child, are being guided to understand it. Heaven wants you to recognize the signs so that when the blessing fully arrives, you will not doubt its origin. So breathe in this moment. The atmosphere of your home is already responding to heaven's command. What you are feeling, sensing, noticing, these are not ordinary moments. These are prophetic signals, indicators that the surprising news is closer than you think. My beloved child, draw your heart even closer now, for we are stepping into the moment where heaven's intentions begin to unfold. You have felt the winds shift. You have sensed the atmosphere change. You have discerned the quiet movement of the heavenly realm drawing near. But now we enter the place where the veil becomes thinner, where understanding begins to dawn, and where the surprising news that Archangel Michael carries starts to reveal its meaning. My beloved child, the message that heaven is sending into your home is not small. It is not ordinary. It is not something that drifts into a life unnoticed. This message carries weight, authority, and divine timing. Heaven does not release news through Archangel Michael unless the magnitude of that news demands angelic strength to escort it. That alone should tell you that what is approaching your home is far bigger than anything you have expected. But let me speak it slowly, carefully, so your spirit can fully receive it. The surprising news heaven has sent is a declaration of restoration. Restoration of the things you lost, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, the seasons you thought could never return. Heaven has seen the years the locusts have eaten. Heaven has seen the relationships that broke your heart. Heaven has seen the closed doors, the betrayals, the disappointments. And now heaven is declaring that restoration will enter your house in ways you never imagined possible. Not a small restoration, not a partial one, but a divine restoration that carries the fingerprints of God Himself. But that is only the beginning, my child. This message also carries deliverance. Deliverance from cycles that have held you captive, patterns that kept repeating, battles you fought silently in the corners of your soul. Heaven is sending deliverance that you did not even know how to pray for. Some of you have been fighting invisible wars for years. Wars of the mind, wars of fear, wars of doubt, wars of heaviness. And this surprising news comes with the authority to break those chains once and for all. Some of you will feel it immediately. A release. A lifting. A freedom. Others will notice it gradually, like a gentle sunrise pushing back the night. But make no mistake, my beloved child, the news heaven is sending carries deliverance wrapped within it, and Archangel Michael is ensuring it reaches your home without interference. And there is more. Heaven has sent financial release into your house. For too long you have lived under financial pressure, setbacks, unexpected losses, or cycles of lack that never seem to end. But the surprising news carries the promise of provision, unexpected, unusual, undeniable provision. Opportunities, ideas, favor, open doors, divine connections, and situations shifting in your favor. Heaven has not forgotten your needs, and the message arriving carries a release that will silence the fear of not having enough. But my child, the message is deeper still. It carries long-awaited answers to prayers you thought heaven had placed on a shelf. Promises you prayed years ago. Tears you cried in moments when no one saw you. Battles you fought quietly without telling anyone. Heaven kept every one of those moments in its record. And the surprising news is that the answers are finally being released. Things you thought were denied were only delayed. And now the delay is being broken. There is also healing in the message. Not just physical healing, though some of you will feel that touch as well, but emotional healing. Healing of memories, healing of wounds that you carried like hidden scars. Some of you have endured heartbreak, disappointment, abandonment, or betrayal that left cracks in your soul. But the surprising news is that heaven is sending healing into those hidden places, restoring the pieces of you that life tried to scatter. And my beloved child, perhaps the most powerful part of this surprising news is this. Heaven is reestablishing your destiny. You may have thought your future was uncertain. You may have believed you missed your moment. You may have felt that your time had passed. But heaven is correcting that belief today. The message carried by Michael announces that your destiny is not lost. Your purpose is not dead. And your future is not limited by your past. Heaven is breathing life back into your calling. Take this to heart. Beloved one, the news entering your home is good news. Heaven sent news. Life-changing news. The kind of news that realigns everything around you. This message is proof that you are not forgotten, not forsaken, not abandoned. You are on heaven's mind. You are in heaven's plans. And the divine message coming into your home confirms it. So sit quietly for a moment, my child. Let your heart soak in this truth. Something beautiful is on its way. Something powerful. Something long awaited. And Archangel Michael is carrying it directly to you. My beloved child, come near now, for we are entering a sacred moment in this journey where heaven's movement reaches its turning point. What you are about to hear is not merely revelation. It is the point where prophecy begins to take shape in your life. You may not realize it yet, but you are standing on holy ground in this very moment, for the presence of Archangel Michael brings a shift so powerful that nothing in your life can remain the same. Heaven has sent him with purpose, and that purpose is unfolding right now before your very spirit. My beloved child, when Archangel Michael steps into a home, the spiritual air becomes charged with divine fire. The unseen becomes active. The atmosphere becomes sharp with clarity. Old battles lose their grit. Ancient chains begin to rattle. And things that have resisted your life for years suddenly come under judgment. This is the turning point. This is the moment where God says, "Enough." And when God declares is enough, no power in the heavens or the earth can argue. Imagine, my child, Archangel Michael entering your home, not with fanfare, not with thunder, but with a quiet authority that shakes the spiritual foundations around you. His arrival is not meant to frighten, it is meant to free. He carries the sword of divine justice, a weapon forged in obedience to God's will. With one motion, he cuts away the spiritual interference that has tried to choke your blessings. With one step, he drives out the shadows that once settled in the corners of your home. With one command, he silences the voices that spoke against your destiny. This is the turning point heaven has orchestrated for you. My beloved child, some of you have felt stuck for a long time. You have battled in silence. You have carried burdens that no one knew about. You have smiled while your soul felt tired. But heaven has watched, and heaven has responded. Michael does not come where nothing is at stake. He comes where destiny has been threatened, where promise has been attacked, where breakthrough has been delayed by forces meant to discourage you. His presence means the tide is turning. The battle is shifting. What once stood against you is losing its strength. Feel this deeply. When Michael enters, chaos leaves. When Michael arrives, clarity returns. When Michael speaks, lies fall silent. When Michael stands, nothing dark can remain standing. He does not come to observe your situation. He comes to overturn it. And my child, that overturning is beginning right now in the spiritual realm of your home. There are angels of healing moving behind him. Angels of provision stepping into place. Angels of restoration aligning your steps. Michael's arrival signals that the heavenly reinforcements you prayed for have come. You will begin to notice things changing. Toxic relationships fading away. Confusion lifting. Sudden favor appearing. Unexpected peace settling on your mind. Opportunities you didn't see before will begin to reveal themselves. This is not coincidence. This is the turning point brought by heaven's messenger. My beloved child, this is the moment where the message he carries begins to activate. It begins to push against the walls that once confined you. It begins to open doors that were previously sealed. It begins to shake foundations that were never meant to hold you. Even now, your spirit may feel lighter. Even now, your heart may feel warmer. Even now, tears might rise without warning. These are signs that the divine turning has begun. Your life is shifting from the old into the new. Michael's presence also brings something more precious than anything else: reassurance. Reassurance that God has not abandoned you. reassurance that heaven is still working on your behalf, reassurance that the promise spoken over your life is still alive. You are not wandering. You are not forgotten. You are not without direction. Heaven has stepped in, and the surprising news being delivered carries the power to change the course of your life. And now, my beloved child, listen carefully. When heaven sends such a message, when heaven moves with such intensity, it desires to spread that same light to others who are in need, others who are searching, others who are hurting. There are many souls who need the same turning point, the same divine shift, this same heavenly message. And heaven often nudges us to share what is sacred not as a chore, but as a holy duty, a way of carrying light into places where darkness lingers. So if your spirit feels stirred, if your heart feels touched, if you sense that this message is divine, then let your actions reflect that heavenly stirring. Allow this message to be carried far, like a torch lit by heaven itself, reaching others who desperately need hope. Let the simple acts of supporting, sharing, and lifting this message become your way of spreading the light heaven has given you. For in doing so, you join heaven's movement, helping this divine turning point reach others who stand on the edge of breakthrough. My beloved child, let your heart rest gently as we continue, for this next part is one of preparation. When heaven sends a message this powerful, when Archangel Michael himself is on assignment toward your home, there is a need to remove certain barriers, so you may receive the fullness of what has been released. Not because heaven is limited, but because the human heart can sometimes hold on to things that block the very blessings it cries out for. Today, my beloved child, I will guide you with the tenderness of a spiritual father, showing you how to open the path so that heaven's message can reach you without resistance. My beloved child, hear this truth with love. The greatest barriers are often not in the world around us, but in the world within us. Sometimes they are fears we have carried since childhood. Sometimes they are disappointments that hardened quietly within our hearts. Sometimes they are silent doubts, seeds that grew slowly through years of pain. And sometimes, my child, they are simply the noise of life, so much noise that the voice of heaven becomes easy to miss. But heaven does not want you to miss this message. Heaven desires that you receive what has been sent with clarity, fullness, and joy. The first barrier heaven longs to remove is the weight of old wounds. My beloved child, so many people carry pain that they never asked for. Pain that came from betrayal, loss, rejection, broken trust, or emotional injuries that left scars deeper than words can describe. These wounds can sit quietly in the soul, shaping your thoughts, shaping your reactions, shaping your expectation of life. But when Archangel Michael brings a message of restoration, the old wounds try to rise up and argue. They whisper, "It can't happen for you. It is too late. You are too damaged." But these whispers are lies, and today heaven desires to silence them. You do not need to pretend those wounds never happen. You simply need to allow heaven to treat them. And the moment you allow healing to begin, you open the door wider for what heaven has sent. The second barrier, my child, is fear. Fear of change. Fear of disappointment. Fear of hoping again after being let down. Fear, can hold the heart in a cage so tightly that even when heaven tries to bring something new, the heart trembles and hides. But my beloved child, fear has no authority in a home where Michael stands. Fear melts under divine presence. Fear loses its voice when heaven moves with intention. This is why it is important for you to release fear gently, not by force, but by trust. Trust that heaven knows what it is doing. Trust that the blessing coming is not a trick, not a tease, not a disappointment waiting to happen. Trust that heaven will not fail you. And as trust rises, fear weakens, making space for the message. The third barrier is unforgiveness. My child, this one is delicate. Sometimes the hardest thing to release is the hurt someone else caused. We often think that forgiveness excuses what they did. But forgiveness is not approval. Forgiveness is release. Release for your own soul, not theirs. Heaven desires your heart to be light, open, and unburdened, for a heavy heart struggles to receive heavenly blessings. When you forgive, even silently, even gently, you break chains you did not realize were wrapped around your spirit. And in that moment, the message heaven is sending finds a clear path. Another barrier, my beloved child, is clutter. Emotional, mental, and sometimes even physical clutter. Heaven's movement brings order. Heaven's message needs space. Many times, people feel spiritually cloudy not because heaven is distant, but because life has become too noisy, crowded with worries, distractions, and unresolved thoughts. This is why heaven is inviting you to breathe, to slow down, to clear room in your spirit. When you do, suddenly you will sense heaven's message more clearly than ever before. The moment you quiet your inner world, the voice of heaven becomes unmistakable. And then, there is the barrier of unworthiness. This one grips many souls. So many say, "Why would heaven send anything to me? Why would Michael come to my house? Why would God choose me?" But my beloved child, heaven does not look at you the way you look at yourself. Heaven sees your potential, not your past. Heaven sees your heart, not your mistakes. Heaven sees your destiny, not your failures. You must understand that worthiness is not earned. It is given. Heaven has already called you worthy, and that is why this message is coming to your home. So release that barrier. Let go of the belief that you are undeserving. Heaven disagrees with that belief entirely. Now, my beloved child, listen closely. Removing barriers is not about perfection. It is about willingness. Heaven meets you where you are. Michael does not come to a perfect house. He comes to a willing house. A ready house. A heart that says, "I want what heaven has for me, even if I do not fully understand it." This willingness is what creates the pathway for the message to enter. As you soften your heart, as you breathe deeply, as you let go of the burdens you were never meant to carry alone, you will feel something shifting. A clearing, a lifting, a gentle opening. And in that opening, heaven's message will find its landing place. Michael will deliver what heaven has sent, and nothing, no fear, no wound, no doubt, will be able to stop what God has already prepared for you. My beloved child, Come closer now, for what we are stepping into is sacred. We are about to open the heavenly package that Archangel Michael is carrying into your home. This is not an earthly gift. It is not wrapped in ribbons, nor sealed in paper. It is a spiritual package, wrapped in divine intention, sealed with the authority of heaven, and marked with your name. Every blessing, every answer, every shift contained within it has been chosen for you, prepared for you, time for you. And now, my beloved child, it is approaching your door. I want you to imagine, gently and without hurry, the moment Michael arrives. His presence fills your home with a glow your eyes cannot see, but your spirit feels. He stands with quiet strength, carrying a divine package that radiates with heavenly light. He is calm, unwavering, and certain. Angels do not guess. Angels do not hope. Angels do not wonder. They operate by instruction from the throne of God Himself. And if Michael has come with a package, then heaven has declared that this blessing is guaranteed. Now listen, my beloved child, to what the heavenly package contains. First, it carries peace. Not the peace the world offers, the kind that comes and goes, the kind that breaks under pressure. This is heaven's peace. A peace that settles in the heart like warm oil. A peace that quiets storms within the mind. A peace that wraps around the soul like gentle arms. Some of you have lived under mental pressure for too long. Your thoughts have been loud. Your emotions have been exhausted. Heaven has seen this, and the first gift in your heavenly package is peace that will rest upon your home like a blanket woven by God's own comfort. Next, my child, your package contains clarity. For so long, confusion has hovered around you. You have been unsure of what path to take, unsure of what decision to make, unsure of who to trust. Heaven is removing that fog. You will begin to see with new eyes. Thoughts that once tangled in knots will begin to straighten. Questions that haunted you will begin to receive answers. Clarity is coming to your spirit, your mind, your relationships, and your purpose. The third gift is protection. Michael is the Archangel of war, of deliverance, of defense. When he comes, he brings protection into the home. This protection is not only for your body, but for your mind, your peace, your finances, your relationships, and your future. Many of you have felt spiritually exposed, vulnerable to attacks, setbacks, or sudden shifts. But this package contains a hedge of protection that surrounds your household. You will feel safer, more grounded, more shielded. Heaven is guarding you in ways you cannot explain, but will surely experience. Then, beloved child, there is restoration inside this package. Restoration of joy. Restoration of courage. Restoration of hope that once faded. Restoration of relationships that can be healed. Restoration of dreams you buried long ago. Heaven is breathing life back into what once felt lifeless. You will begin to feel desire again, purpose again, vision again. Heaven is not only giving you back what you lost, it is giving it back multiplying. Another precious gift in your package is direction. Many have wandered without clarity, unsure of their next step. But heaven has heard your cry. The gift of direction will cause your feet to walk in the right places and your heart to choose the right things. You will find yourself making decisions with confidence you didn't know you had. Doors that are meant for you will open with ease, while wrong paths will close without explanation. This is heaven guiding your destiny. My beloved child, your heavenly package also contains opportunities. Unexpected ones. Ones that shift your life. Ones that bring increase, favor, provision, and new beginnings. Opportunities that align you with your purpose. Opportunities that lift you out of stagnation. Opportunities that seem almost too good to be true, yet are undeniably orchestrated by God Himself. Heaven is arranging divine connections, meaningful relationships, and sudden breakthroughs that will unfold in surprising ways. And finally, my child, the package contains joy. Pure, deep joy. Joy that bubbles from within. Joy that replaces heaviness. Joy that surprises you in the middle of an ordinary day. Heaven desires not only to deliver you, but to delight you. This joy will be a sign that heaven has touched your life in a personal, undeniable way. This, my beloved child, is the heavenly package. Peace, clarity, protection, restoration, direction, divine opportunities, and supernatural joy. All chosen with intention. All sent with love. All carried by Michael directly into your home. Take a moment now. Breathe slowly. Let your spirit receive what your mind may not fully understand yet. You do not need to strive for these blessings. You do not need to earn them. They are a gift. They are heaven's response to your endurance, your faith, your tears, and your prayers. My beloved child, come with a tender heart as we move forward, for what we are entering now is the moment of activation. You have learned about the heavenly package. You have sensed the movement of Michael. You have felt the shift in your atmosphere. But now, my child, heaven desires to teach you how to open this message immediately, so that nothing delays the blessing that has already been sent in your direction. Many receive a heavenly package, but only those who open it with understanding experience its full power. So listen closely, with a spirit that is willing, ready, and expectant. My beloved child, opening what heaven has sent is not done with physical hands, but with the posture of your heart. Heaven's blessings do not respond to strength, they respond to surrender. They do not respond to panic, they respond to trust. They do not respond to striving, they respond to alignment. And right now, heaven is aligning your spirit with the divine message that has been released into your home. The first way to open the heavenly message is through stillness. I know, my beloved child, that you have carried burdens. I know the noise of life has been loud around you. But stillness is not idleness. It is spiritual permission. When you become still, even for a few moments, you allow the spiritual realm to settle around you. Stillness creates a doorway. It signals to heaven that your spirit is ready to hear. When you quiet your mind, even briefly, you will sense the message unfolding itself, gently, like a whisper from eternity resting upon your heart. The next way to open the message is through trust. Heaven cannot deliver what the heart rejects in fear. The message sent to your home is good news. News of restoration, peace, protection, and breakthrough. But the heart must trust that it is truly meant for you. Many times, my beloved child, people listen with hope but receive with doubt. They say, could this really happen? Could God be speaking to me? Could heaven truly be moving for my sake? And often it is this doubt that keeps the package unopened. But if you say within yourself, even softly, even trembling, I trust what heaven is doing in my life, the package unlocks. You do not need perfect faith. You only need willing faith. Another way to open the heavenly message is through gratitude. Gratitude is a spiritual key. It opens doors that anxiety keeps locked. When you whisper a simple thank you, not forced, not scripted, but sincere, heaven responds. Gratitude tells heaven that your heart is ready to receive. Gratitude tells your spirit to expect. Gratitude clears the atmosphere of your home, making room for the blessings to manifest. Even now, as you breathe and feel the warmth of these words, a small thank you rising from your heart is enough to open the path. My beloved child, another step in opening the heavenly message is letting go of the old. The new cannot enter where the old is still gripping tightly. Some of you are holding on to pain, memories, fears, failures, or past seasons that no longer serve your destiny. Heaven cannot pour fresh oil into a vessel filled with yesterday's residue. You do not need to erase the past. You only need to release your attachment to it. When you say, even quietly, I release what no longer belongs to me, heaven hears it as permission to move. And in that moment, the package begins to open. Faith also opens the heavenly message. Not the loud kind, not the kind that shouts or trembles, but the gentle inner agreement that says, I believe something is changing in my life. Even if you feel uncertainty, even if your circumstances look unchanged, faith whispers to heaven, I am ready. And heaven responds. Faith does not require evidence. Faith creates evidence. Faith does not wait to see before believing. It believes and then sees. And your willingness to believe, even in a quiet and humble way, is another key that unlocks what heaven has sent. My beloved child, you also open the message through words. Words shape the spiritual environment. If your words align with heaven, heaven moves quickly. When you speak life, when you speak hope, when you speak expectation, you are opening the gateway for the heavenly message to enter fully. Even something as simple as saying, I receive what heaven has for me, carries tremendous power. Your words have weight in the spiritual realm, and heaven honors them. But the most powerful way to open the heavenly message is this. Be present in the moment. Do not rush. Do not distract yourself. Do not let the world pull you away. When heaven speaks, your presence is your agreement. Your attention is your invitation. By simply being here, listening, breathing, and allowing your heart to open, you are already unlocking what heaven has placed in your home. Feel this deeply. My beloved child, heaven does not make things complicated. Heaven moves through simplicity, purity, and sincerity. You open the heavenly message not by effort, but by readiness. Not by striving, but by softness. not by trying harder, but by trusting deeper. Even now, something is opening. Even now, your spirit is receiving. Even now, the package is unfolding. You may feel warmth in your chest, a calm in your mind, tears rising, or a gentle peace settling on you. These are signs that heaven's message is beginning to manifest. You are opening what heaven has sent, and nothing can stop it. My beloved child, stay close as we continue, for this part is where everything becomes living, breathing, and real in your life. What heaven has sent is not meant to be a moment that touches you and then fades. It is not meant to be an emotional experience that warms you briefly and then disappears. No, my beloved, heaven's intention is that you walk in the fulfillment of what has been delivered into your home. Not for a day, not for a week, but as a new season, a new reality, a new chapter written by the hand of God Himself. My beloved child, when heaven releases a blessing, it is not fragile. What is fragile is the way humans carry it. Heaven's gifts are strong, but they require the heart to hold them with care and awareness. This is why walking in the fulfillment of the heavenly package is a spiritual practice, a daily alignment, a conscious choice. For many receive a blessing, but only those who nurture it walk in the fullness of it. The first step to walking in fulfillment, my beloved child, is to live with expectation. Not the anxious expectation that strains and worries, but the calm, steady expectation that comes from knowing heaven has moved on your behalf. When you wake in the morning, remind your heart that heaven has already sent something into your life. Expect peace to manifest. Expect clarity to grow. Expect protection to surround you. Expect new opportunities to arise. Expect joy to flow through your days. When expectation lies in your heart, heaven's blessings become active instead of dormant. My child, the next step is alignment. Fulfillment requires your actions to agree with what heaven has declared. If heaven has sent peace, do not step back into chaos willingly. If heaven has sent direction, do not keep walking in confusion. If heaven has sent restoration, do not cling to what is broken. If heaven has sent joy, do not feed the things that steal it. Your choices, even the small ones, determine how fully you walk in the blessing. Heaven has done its part. Now you align yourself through your daily decisions, creating a lifestyle that supports the divine message you have received. Walking in fulfillment also requires discernment. Heaven is opening new doors, but not every door is meant for you. Heaven is sending new people, but not every voice should guide you. You must listen with the ears of your spirit. When something carries peace, it carries heaven. When something carries confusion, it does not belong to you. Walking in fulfillment means learning to sense the difference. You do not need to rush. You do not need to fear missing out. Heaven leads you gently, and anything that forces you harshly is not from the divine. My beloved child, another key to walking in heaven's fulfillment is nurturing the blessing. Blessings grow when you feed them. They grow when you speak life over them. They grow when you protect them from negativity and doubt. If heaven sends joy, nurture it by choosing gratitude. If heaven sends healing, nurture it by avoiding what once wounded you. If heaven sends opportunity, Nurture it by showing up with excellence. What you nurture expands. What you ignore diminishes. You must also walk in fulfillment with humility. Heaven opposes pride because pride tries to take credit for what heaven has done. Fulfillment flows to the humble heart, the grateful heart, the heart that says, I did not earn this, but I receive it with reverence. Humility safeguards the blessing. It keeps your spirit open, soft, and receptive to ongoing instruction from heaven. Remember, the blessing is not the end. It is the beginning of a new season. And humility keeps you aligned with heaven as that season unfolds. My beloved child, walking in fulfillment also means letting go of comparison. Do not measure your blessing by someone else's. Do not diminish what heaven sent you, because it does not look like someone else's journey. Fulfillment comes when your eyes rest on your own path, your own calling, your own divine story. Heaven crafted your blessing uniquely. It is designed for your destiny, not another's. And lastly, my beloved child, walking in fulfillment requires honoring the divine presence that started this journey. When you honor what heaven has done, when you remember the shift, the message, the touch of Michael, you keep the blessings active in your life. When you remain aware that heaven has visited your home, you begin to live differently. Your decisions carry intention. Your thoughts carry hope. Your words carry authority. Your spirit walks with confidence. This is fulfillment. Living every day knowing heaven is on your side. Feel this deeply. The surprising news that entered your home is not temporary. It is not fleeting. It is a divine turning point meant to shape the future chapters of your life. And as you walk with awareness, with gratitude, with expectation, with trust, you will see the evidence unfolding in ways that even now you cannot predict. Your life is shifting into alignment with the promise. The fulfillment has begun. And heaven will continue guiding you until the blessing becomes a living testimony in your daily existence. My beloved child, come close one last time as we step into the final movement of this divine journey. You have walked through revelation, through awakening, through the unfolding of a heavenly message. You have felt the presence of Archangel Michael near your home. You have sensed the winds of change, the power of restoration, the warmth of peace, and the whisper of God's intention for your life. And now, my beloved child, heaven desires to seal this journey with a final prophetic release over you. Hear me with the ears of your spirit. You are standing in a new moment. This moment is not shaped by your past. It is shaped by the message heaven has delivered into your life. The surprising news that entered your home is now taking root in your atmosphere. The blessing is no longer approaching. It has arrived. The shift is not coming. It is here. Something sacred rests in the air around you now, like a gentle glow rising from heaven's breath. My beloved child, I speak over you now with the authority of a spiritual father. May every blessing that heaven has prepared for you manifest in its fullness. May every barrier that once stood in your way crumble beneath the weight of divine purpose. May every tear you cried become a seed that produces a harvest of joy. May peace settle upon your home like a morning dew that never dries. May clarity fill your mind and illuminate your path. May protection surround you like a shield crafted in heaven's fire. May restoration visit every part of your life that has tasted loss. May direction guide your footsteps. May opportunities that carry heaven's fingerprints locate you swiftly. And may joy spring forth from your spirit like a river that cannot be stopped. Know this, my beloved child, heaven has not simply touched your life. It has chosen to dwell in your home. Michael did not come briefly. He came on assignment. And that assignment will continue unfolding long after this message ends. The news heaven sent into your house will multiply, strengthen, and reveal itself in your days to come. Carry this moment with reverence. Hold this blessing with gratitude. Let your heart remain open, soft, and expectant. You are not walking into the next season alone. Heaven goes before you. Heaven walks with you. Heaven watches over you. And now, my beloved child, as this message comes to its sacred close, let me speak to your heart one more time. When heaven touches you, when a blessing like this enters your home, it becomes a holy duty to make sure this light does not stay with you alone. The world is full of souls who are weary, wounded, searching, and desperate for signs of heaven's love. By lifting this message higher, by sharing it, by letting others find the same moment, you become a vessel through which heaven reaches more hearts. It is not a task, it is a ministry. It is an act of divine kindness. It is your way of spreading the very light that has touched your house. Honor heaven's gift by carrying its glow into the world. And now, my beloved child, I speak this final blessing over you. May the God of glory walk before you. May his angels guard behind you. May his peace rest within you. May his purpose rise through you. And may everything heaven has sent into your home flourish without hindrance. Amen.